Welcome back to the channel. This is Travis with Enzyme Designs. Today we're going to be doing a little review on the FoxAlien Masuter Pro 4040. The 4040 meaning that it's a 400 millimeter by 400 millimeter cutting surface. So factory, this is the spindle that you get with the FoxAlien straight out of the box. I upgraded about 2 to 3 weeks after having the machine, just due to slow cut times. I found myself doing a lot of cutting. Some projects would take 6, 7 hours with the spindle, with the factory spindle. As you can see, the size difference compared to the Cobalt. I upgraded to the 65 millimeter Cobalt. Like I said, about 3 weeks after having it. Huge time saver. I recommend upgrading to a bigger router if you're going to do a lot of cutting. And so far, I found myself doing a lot. The only thing I'll have to say about the Cobalt, I don't really want to go into much detail about it, but the Cobalt is a little bit bigger than 65 millimeter. I did have to shave my spindle down a little bit wider to accommodate for the size difference. I know there's a lot out there. There's DeWalt's, Makita's, Bauer. And a lot of people are using that slide right in. I got a deal with this from a local Lowe's. They were on sale, so I went this route. Anyways, enough about that. Moving on, we're going to look at the machine in depth a little bit today. I'll set up a project to cut so you can see the action of it cutting, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. So what I've got going on here, I've got the Easel Pro up. I've got our project up. We're going to cut us a FoxAlien logo out. So I'm fixing to measure my piece of equipment just to make sure I've got my measurements in right. This is going to be a 14 by 11 piece. We're going to put the 14 on the y-axis. So the y-axis is from front to back of the machine. X is from side to side, left to right. So what I'm going to use now, what I like to use on my projects, I know everybody has their own opinions. There's the tape method with glue. There's the clamp methods. I have used the double-sided sticky tape. It's a woodworking tape. Real sticky. I like it. Not good for every project, but for most projects it works great. I'm using MDF board, so sticks great. I just put 2 strips down the machine to hold the project in place. Make sure they're both nice and flat. You stick them real well. And once you get them stuck, it can be difficult. All right, so now we make sure we put our piece down. I took the time to make my spool board. If you're going to be doing a lot of cut throughs, I would definitely put you a spool board. If you do not, you're going to ruin your factory bed, and it's already got pretty slotted with threads in, so I wouldn't mess that up. I would put you a spool board. Go ahead and take the time to do that. I squared mine up, taped it down. So now just make sure you put your piece down that we're cutting. Square it up here. Okay, now I've got it in place. You just push it down. Okay. Try to pull it back up. I can't pull it back up. So now we're ready to load up our machine. So I'm going to turn it on. Okay. Now that it's in the middle, we're going to want to hit our home button. Bring it back home. Okay. Now that it's home, I'm going to take my FoxAlien dust boot cover off. This is for the vacuum, your vacuum system, which trust me, you'll want this. I started my first probably 10 projects without it. Made a mess, huge mess. So I recommend the FoxAlien dust collector. It's great. I'll put the link in the bottom of the YouTube video. Great addition. Okay, so now I've got in our program here, we've got the 60 degree V-bit loaded in. I've got to change my bit because I was cutting another project previously. So we're just going to change that real fast. Sorry guys, I had a rookie mistake here. My my microphone died in the video here, so there's no audio in this clip here. But what I'm doing here, I've got Easel Pro loaded up, got my equipment. I'm fixing to get ready to cut. So right now, I'm bringing the router in some. I usually go in a good inch on the X and Y axis over the board that I'm cutting on. You're going to pull out your Z probe. So the Z probe is very, very important. You put this underneath your router and on top of the piece of material that you're cutting. This tells the router the depth from the tip of the bit to the top of your material. So this is very important for your cutting depths. So what I'm doing here, I've got it clipped on to the bit, and then you place the Z probe directly underneath the bit. In Easel Pro, it will direct you on step by step. It asks you if the clip was attached. You make sure it's attached to the drill bit. Then you place your probe underneath. You'll bring your probe up to touch the bit, show that it makes contact. That way it knows it's working. Once it's made the contact, it knows now the bit to the actual cutting surface. So now you're good. So now you can click next. You put your Z probe up. It'll direct you to put it away. Here we're going to be setting up the XY0. So this, you want it all the way to the corner of your piece of material. This will ensure that your projects are centered or as they appear in your program, whether it's Easel or whatever program you're using. So this part's very important. Okay, so once we have our XY0 completed, we're going to move on to the next step. Here you're going to turn on your spindle. Now, if you're using the factory FoxAlien router that comes with it, when you turn on the spindle in the program, it will automatically turn it on and turn it off when the job's complete. But since I upgraded to the bigger spindle, I do not have the FoxAlien Smart Relay Controller module in my FoxAlien. I wish I had it, but I don't currently. So if you had that, that would actually know to turn off your aftermarket spindle on and off. But because I do not have that currently, we will be shutting it off and starting it manually. That puts off a lot more dust. The V-bits tend not to put off much dust. So we're going to put it back on. This is magnetic, so it just slides right on. So it's done. Now we're ready to start cutting. We're going to turn our spindle head on. Here again, we've got to turn our spindle on manually if you have the upgraded router. If you have the factory FoxAlien router that it comes with, you hit turn spindle on, it'll come on automatically. And then when the project's done, it will shut off automatically. Right now when the project's done, it'll keep running until I physically turn it off. So let's go ahead and turn it on, turn the spindle on. Okay. I'm going to turn my vacuum on. So I want to take this time while we're watching this FoxAlien logo cut here, just to go over a couple of the accessories that FoxAlien offers and some of the specs. So start off the accessories. The number one thing that I'm excited about is this 4080 extension kit. That's making your 400 by 400 millimeter cutting surface or cutting bed to expand to a 400 by 800. So you get that extra length out of it. So you're going from 15 and 3/4 by 15 and 3/4 with the 400 by 400 millimeter, and now it's going to a 15 and 3/4 by 30. I want to say 31 inches is what it was, or right there at it. So I'm excited for that. I will have a video coming up on that. I do have the extension kit that I'm very excited about. The other things we're looking at are going to be the upgraded router head, which is something I've showed in the video here with the Cobalt to upgrade from the factory router. That's an option. They do send you the 65 millimeter spindle adapter, so you can use that. Next is the 300 watt spindle that you can upgrade from FoxAlien directly. Another attachment would be the laser attachment. So basically, you remove your four bolts on your head, on your spindle, remove it, and plug in directly to your FoxAlien current setup to run a laser. Another accessory they have is the offline controller. This way, you don't have to plug into directly to your computer and run through internet software. You can just download the G code, and then you just plug that directly into your offline controller. So next, looking at some of the things that the FoxAlien Masuter Pro 4040 comes with directly out the box. Of course, you get the 52 millimeter spindle, which is the factory spindle that it comes with. They also send you the upgraded 65 millimeter spindle clamp, so that way you can upgrade to the bigger router. They do send you some starter bits. Now, something I didn't mention in this video with the factory spindle, everything is the 1/8 inch bits and collets. The assembly time on this thing really surprised me. I was not expecting it to build as fast as it was, but most of this comes pre-assembled. You're really just putting the board on the bottom and your aluminum pieces across your x-axis and your bar on top. It took 20-30 minutes to put this thing together. I was very surprised how little time it took to actually assemble this thing. After having this thing a little over a month and a half now, I'm very happy with the machine. I've learned a lot. The problems that I have had with it has been user error, my fault. Both of them were due to one was not cleaning the belt underneath the x-axis, not realizing it. So that was two reasons. A lot of acrylic dust throwing up, getting in the belt, not realizing it. And then, I could have solved that issue if I would have bought the vacuum dust collector, the dust shoe, right off the bat. But I did wait a little bit to purchase it, and I'm telling you, it's a world of difference. Really has helped. Okay, now it's all done. We're going to take our project off. So I use a spatula here, pry it up some, work on this side, get on this tape, pry it up. Nice and slow, keep. MDF is real thin, it will snap. There we go. We'll just peel our tape off, and we're done. So here's our final product with this FoxAlien Masuter Pro. All right, it's all done cutting. We're gonna just turn power off. Okay, so now that power's off, I'm gonna slide her out the way. And there's our final product. Turned out really nicely. Okay, now that we're done cutting, now that you see what the FoxAlien can do, it looks nice, it turned out really well. The mistake that I made, rookie mistake, was I put my X and Y numbers 2 different spots, and then I centered it on the Easel Pro, so it made my cut off center. Rookie mistake, I was paying more attention to making the video than I was to the piece. This is a scrap piece, but still, my mistake. So moving on, we're going to look at do's and don'ts that I've found in running this machine in the last month and a half that I've had it. One thing that two things that I personally made a mistake with, which I thought it was a FoxAlien problem. Come to find out, it was a me problem. I messed up. First one, I made a piece. I was cutting acrylic. It was acrylic with epoxy filled. I did not have the dust boot at the time. And for those that might not know, epoxy really throws off some chips, and it's real thick, kind of sticky. It was in the middle of a cut. It jumped the x-axis, moved over, and I thought it was the machine error. Upon further research, I found out it was my issue. Come to find out, this belt under here, I did not know that it was there. The belt had got clogged up with epoxy dust. So it actually got up under here. There's wheels on top, on bottom, on both the x-axis and the y-axis, that after every cut, you need to make sure you clean. I made the mistake, like I said, not cleaning this one. I didn't even pay it any mind. Rookie mistake. This is my first ever CNC, so, you know, I'm learning as I go. So take everything that I'm showing you with a grain of salt, because these are mistakes that I've made. These are things that I've done. But, you know, we learn from our mistakes. We only get better. So that was one. Make sure you clean this out. I've got a little brush that I'll take. I'll wipe it out, top, bottom. Same with the side rails, top rails. Maintenance of this machine is important. Sometimes you'll get chips shoot off underneath these belts here on the side. In this track, this is just a guide here that runs. The belt goes over these servos, and they run back and forth. That's how they operate. So if you get any chips in here, anything in this to mess with it, it'll mess up your stepper motors, go back and forth. So not a good idea. Make sure you keep your machine clean. Sorry. The big thing is that I found that helped me the most was actually getting this dust cover, this vacuum collector. This is from FoxAlien. I love it. I can't believe that I was cutting without it. In all honesty, I would recommend buying this when you first buy the machine. Of course, you won't buy this one directly unless you get the upgraded spindle, because this is the 65mm vacuum collector. The factory one, I want to say, is 52mm. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. But it's great. I would recommend it to anybody that gets it, whether you're doing heavy use, light use. Great addition. Next, I want to talk about here, of course, you've got your power button. Your red button is your e-stop. Very important. So if anything goes wrong while it's cutting, any malfunction, push the e-stop button. To release it, you twist. It goes up. Machine comes back on. You can home it with a black button here. It does have for spindle 1 and 2. Of course, I'm not using the spindle anymore because I have upgraded it, of course, to the Cobalt, to a bigger unit. But you can also get the laser with this unit. You remove 4 bolts here. You take the spindle off. You run your wire, then you can run your laser, which I hope to be getting one day soon. My next upgrade to this machine, though, is going to be 80-40 kit. So that will make this 40-40 be 80-80. So that's, or 80 by 40, I'm sorry. So it's 800 millimeters on the y-axis, and then it stays at 400 on the x-axis. Huge for doing bigger projects, right? So you can do guitar bodies, you can do bigger signs. The projects with that is going to be endless. The amount that we can do is going to be so much more. I love the 400 by 400 bed, don't get me wrong, but I find myself wanting to do bigger projects. I've been getting a lot more orders here recently, which would call for bigger platforms. So excited. Hopefully in the next week or two, I will be getting that and changing out my machine to the 80-40, and I will be doing a video on that also. Looking forward to that. I hope I haven't missed anything in this video. I want to say that I've really enjoyed this FoxAlien Masuter Pro. The 4040 has been a great machine. I've learned a lot on it. I've done a lot of projects already on it. Did not think that I was going to be quite doing this much to begin with, but I'm happy to be having projects and trying different things. I'm experimenting with different woods right now, with doing epoxy, acrylic. Hopefully soon we'll be doing some aluminum, but that's further on in the future. These machines are very user friendly. This is my first ever CNC machine, and I could not be more happy with this machine. I've done some research. Actually, Victor over at Crawlspace Craftsman, go check him out, by the way. He's on YouTube. Go check him out over on his channel. It's the Crawlspace Craftsman. Great channel. He does reviews. He does how-to videos. He's the one that turned me on to the FoxAlien. I watched some of his videos, and he's actually the reason that I purchased my unit. I watched his videos on how-to, his 80-40 kit, and some other videos. So go check him out. Great guy. He's helped me out a lot, and we've gone back and forth. So check out his channel. Hopefully you will subscribe, like, share this video, and I will continue to do some more videos like this and some more projects that I have upcoming. Got some cool projects coming. I hope you will enjoy them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you have a FoxAlien, what you think about it. Any questions you might have. Like I said, I'm new to this, so I might not be able to help, but I have learned some little things here and there, and still learning. All right, guys. Well, that's been the video of the FoxAlien Masuter Pro 4040. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. If you had any questions about the Masuter Pro, I hope I've answered them. If not, feel free to comment below, and I will get back to you with any questions you might have. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share, and until next time, thank you guys for watching.